All right, guys, welcome to yet another episode of Huddle Up at Breakpoint. This is day 3, and this will be our final and closing episode. Today with us, we have Amanda from BitRobot, and I don't even want to get started on what they're building. I'm just going to give the floor to her and let her do all the speaking in this sense because, it's so cool. I'm going to get excited and just leave. Okay, so Amanda, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm the CEO of BitRobot. We're building the world's open robotics lab. So using crypto DePIN incentives on Solana to aggregate resources for robotics research and development, like robots, teleoperators, people that pilot the robots, compute, hardware. And so that's what we're building, and we're aggregating these resources to produce outputs for robotics research and development.
All right, but how did you join crypto? Because most people in this industry have a unique story on why did they even join this industry and how and when.
Yeah.
So we want to really know yours, your origin story, basically.
Yep. So I worked in traditional finance for a couple of years, and then I wanted to get more close to technology and innovation. So I actually ended up at a venture firm, Collab Currency, and I was on the investment team there for a few years, and then I looked at BitRobot actually from the investment side, was super excited about what they were building. Came on and joined the team. This was in May of this year. And then transitioned to venture partner at the firm. And now that's history. I've been getting up into speed on robotics.
I was going to ask why Solana, but then it's a no-brainer that the DePIN and Solana is uncontestable in so many ways, but I wanted to hear more about how the whole infrastructure works. How do you get the information, and how are, for example, participants rewarded and all of that?
Yep. So we're building a protocol on Solana. It's structured as an ecosystem of subnets. You can think of a subnet as a market to produce a particular output. So an example is you can wear this cap. It's a wearable cap with cameras collecting egocentric video data. So you buy the cap, you wear it around, and then you're rewarded for your contributions to the video data. And so that's essentially what we say when we say subnet. And so what Solana is enabling is the attribution of who is doing what, different robots getting registered, different tasks getting completed, and then the incentives. So what rewards are people getting? So if I'm the subnet owner, there will be rewards for me. There'll be rewards for the contributors. There'll be rewards for the validation. Through all of that, creating verifiable robotic work, and then doing the payouts.
All right. I really want to ask you about this big boy right there, because what is it what can we use it for?
Yeah. So this one, it's a sidewalk robot.
All right.
But it's also a fun game, and that's something that I think a lot of the subnets have, where they're collecting data, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like a Mario Kart-esque game where you can drive this robot around in the real world. You can pilot it in person, I can pilot it around the Solana venue, but I could also pilot it remotely, so I could be controlling this in the US right now. Yeah, so it's quite fun. We actually had someone from the Philippines piloting it around the Breakpoint venue earlier. And so what it's doing, it's collecting urban navigation data. And so essentially there's a lack of real world data in robotics across the different disciplines, and urban navigation being one of them. So the founder actually started off building more of a gaming company, quite excited about just this idea of how you could have a game with robots, but found the data was super useful for researchers. And so Sergey Levine, the co-founder of Physical Intelligence, his lab at Berkeley wrote a paper on it, co-authored with Toyota. Other researchers have engaged through Earth Rover competition, which is using these robots to test their models in urban navigation. And then most recently, we announced a grand challenge where we drove these robots from Stanford to Berkeley as a human benchmark, and then we're inviting researchers to autonomously complete that, as well as in other cities once that benchmark is achieved.
And I was told, outside, where by the ring, to put a head or something on this one because it gives it a personality. I thought it's a learning, machine model that basically becomes like a pet for you. So, but like I think I missed the point with that.
Yeah, I mean, I do have one of these in my apartment. I think, it's useful and again, like fun. I think that's why a lot of people, they want to engage with robotics. And, this one is safe to use,
Yeah.
simple, a couple $100s. And so it's a great like entry path
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, my other question is, I always take the example of Apple and how like all of their products, they operate well, with one another. There's like, one of the best interoperability. You can pair your AirPods and MacBook and, basically use them simultaneously. So I was like wondering, is the same applied to like BitRobot products? And if yes, do I become like Octo at Spider-Man? Basically, have one thing for something and the other for something else.
Yeah, I mean, you can also, of course, like there's some complementary aspects here. Like you could wear the RoboCap while driving around a sidewalk robot, right? But what's quite exciting about what we're doing is a big research trend now is cross embodiment. So this is the idea of creating a model for general purpose physical AI that works across all types of robots and tasks. And this is what like the big labs and robotics companies are working towards right now. And so there's 3 types of data that are useful: teleoperation, video, and simulation. And so our network has subnets that are tackling all 3 areas. And so there's definitely synergies in terms of like, okay, like I learned about controlling this robot arm and I started doing telearms. And then, I learned about this other opportunity to wear this cap. And some of these things can be done at the same time for sure.
Yeah, so like now I want to talk about the humanoid robot, because all of these can like gather data, and that's basically what they're doing when you're using them. And that's how you incentivize the users as well through the deepen aspect of the whole project, let's say.
Yeah.
Like, what about the humanoid robot? Like, does it have to fight other humanoid robots, or how does it collect data?
Yeah. So the exhibition we have here, UFB, it's called Ultimate Fighting Bots. This is a project that we spun off, and so now a separate team is running it. It's essentially a meat entertainment franchise. They were covered in the Washington Post, New York Times, Ashley Vance, and then have sold out different venues in SF and LA. And so there's a whole entertainment and media opportunity, and then use that to finance the robots, and then the robots can then be used on a subnet on BitRobot for something like humanoid navigation. We also have another subnet that is focused on data collection on humanoids as well. So that's the connectivity there, is like a lot of entertainment and gaming is the use case right now. And then how can you then use that to finance and activate data collection?
So like I think there was a voting, I think it was Tolly versus Raj.
Yeah.
So is that kind of data, for example, used to...
I mean, it feels like there's a lot of product market fit for betting, I'll say. Essentially what we're seeing is a new entertainment and media franchise form, and people love to sports bet. So yeah, I will say though, I don't know how useful that data is for robotics R&D, but what it's awesome is that like people are really getting excited to engage with robots, and I think like that's sort of the first step in the path to physical AI autonomy. Yeah, like general purpose physical AI.
Yes, but like you guys are in this sector, and I have to ask you, and I want to get this information from you. How what are the chances, and we need a prediction market on this, guys, by the way. What are the chances that we get taken over by robots in like the next 10 years? Because these look dangerous. Have you seen the humanoid robots? They dance better than any other dancer that I've seen.
Yeah, they are dangerous. I mean,
wait, I was expecting a no.
No. I mean, they for sure are. I think the Unitree G1s, they weigh about 80 pounds. Like if that falls on your foot, that can be a problem. And so what we're seeing is, like when robots are starting to enter people's homes, which I think will happen like through companies like 1X, Sunday Robotics in the next year. Again, these robots will not be fully functioning. They'll be teleoperated. They'll be sort of like getting feedback and data collection happening. But like I think I was filling out one of these like surveys to be involved, and it's like they don't want to you to have any elderly, any kids. They can't. Yeah. So I think there is definitely a safety element that is important. And I think the weight of the robot and like how can you make it more like security aligned is important. So yeah, I think it'll take some time given that's where we're at is like you can probably see the robots around here. Like they're a bit dangerous. They're not super productive yet. It's mostly like, they're being controlled, like even in the demos that you might see online, like they probably took a lot of takes or something. If you change the lighting, if you change the location, they may not achieve the same goal, right? So it's pretty early, but I think 10 years out, it could be good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now
Yeah.
that's peace of mind for me. I feel safer.
We've just seen like too many dystopian movies, so
Yeah.
you kind of get where that comes from. Like the first day, like day one at Breakpoint, I saw like the robot, the humanoid dancing and stuff, and like I felt like it was looking at me, so I waved,
Yeah.
and then it waved back, and like I was creeped out because I didn't know like it was like being controlled, so. And then I was smoking a cigarette, and it came like close to me and like it put its hand out like this, and I was like, I didn't know what to think at that point,
Yeah, so I'll say in this case, so the humanoids that we have here at Breakpoint, they have pre-programmed moves. So like one of them can do a Michael Jackson dance. Other ones have fighting moves. Other ones they like wave, they shake your hand. But yeah, they're just being piloted right now. So maybe you didn't see the controller, but someone was controlling it.
All right, so now I want to talk about how blockchain plays a role in what you guys are building. I mean, just a general idea, because I could think of like multiple ways where blockchain could come in. But like I want to see what you guys and how you guys are approaching this specifically.
And like why wouldn't like a traditional approach maybe work in this case?
So when you think about data collection and what is required for general purpose physical AI, so in the world of like language and vision models, you can scrape the internet and get what you need. But in the physical world, like you need actual real world interaction. So I need someone to drive this robot around like in many different cities and environments. I need a lot of different ARM data being collected in different environments. And so crypto is like perfect for this because how do you crowdsource different interactions around the world and create this in the wild data collection? And so that's like the initial focus for us, just because there's a huge opportunity there where most of the centralized players, they may be doing data collection, but they're usually doing it like in a lab controlled setting, right? And so how do you know that the model then works in every doorknob, or whatnot? And so how collecting that data and then also the evaluation, like testing that model around the world in different environments is what our network is uniquely able to facilitate.
Yeah, and like when you think about it, is the crypto and blockchain, I mean, taking into account the technology behind it and also how easy it is to build these incentive layers.
Yeah,
I think it is the best way to incentivize people to actually work and help you guys get this data. So deepen is literally the best thing to approach for gathering data and building.
100%. Like, cause I mean, of course, like you could hire data collectors.
Yeah.
Like, for example, so we have a couple of subnets that are focused on egocentric video. There's this one that, you wear this cap. There's another one that Virtual's launched, which is like called Seesaw, and there you're uploading egocentric video via iPhone. And so you can, like, of course, do that with, I think, Figure. They recently raised $1 billion. They did a partnership with Brookfield, like the real estate company, to collect this type of data. So I'm sure they're paying a lot of people to go collect this data in these different environments. But it's just way more capital intensive. Whereas, like, okay, we can do the same thing, but by just using crypto incentives and our infrastructure.
Exactly.
So, like, to wrap things up, I have one last question. What should we expect for 2026? Or is that like too early to ask? I mean, we're in December, but like...
Yeah, we're in December.
No. For robotics or BitRobot?
BitRobot.
For BitRobot,
And robotics. I mean,
and for robotics. Yeah. So for BitRobot, I think the exciting things are, one, you'll see many more of these subnets launching. We'll be launching our points program for ecosystem wide, and gearing up for testnet and our broader mainnet launch. And then in terms of robotics, like I think that like next year is going to be the year of like more in the home pilots and commercial pilots.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these robotics companies, they plan to ship their initial like humanoids to people's homes next year. And I think, you know, these humanoids are going to be very much like extreme beta. But I think it's exciting to see like it's starting to enter everyday people's lives.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of scared, but I'm putting my trust in builders like you. So let's see what happens in 2026. All right, Amanda, thank you very much for being with us today, and we look forward to you guys delivering even more, and maybe having you on a podcast in the future as well, virtually. So thank you again, and until next time, see you guys.
Awesome. Thank you.